Aloha! This is Leah Rose. I am your friendly neighborhood cosplayer. If you're a geek and you're not ashamed of it, we can hang out on the internet at Leah Rose FTW. You're listening to Comics for Fun and Profit with Kyle and Drew, and happy birthday, Kyle!
Thank you for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit. This is Kyle and Drew with your sneak peek at next week, episode number 523, where Drew and myself will be going through comics originally releasing August the 7th, 2019. Before Drew and I get into what's coming out in your local comic book shops this coming Wednesday. Drew, have we heard anything from our listeners? Any feedback or anything happening in the world of comics?
Oh, yes, we have. Let's see. Michael Lamb says he went to his LCS and he grabbed Canto number 1, second print, and Canto number 2, first print, just because they are the hot books recommended. You recommended. Yeah. And this is his first IDW book he's ever read, and he decided to read them, and they were great. And now he has ordered issue 3 and 4 because of that recommendation. So we recommend them as well. I think that was your pick, wasn't it, Kyle? You were the Canto guy.
I said grab 2, and you have the opportunity to still FOC second print 1 or whatever it was.
Yeah, and so we recommend it as a spec. I haven't read it yet. So good call on that. We're gonna have to check that out and make sure that we get to read it too. Sounds pretty good.
Absolutely.
If you like it, we were just looking at it from the old spec point of view.
Oh, I'd heard nothing. I have a buddy that read it and really, really liked it. So
there you go.
I'd heard firsthand that it was quality stuff.
He goes on to say, as the great patriot Paul Revere said, "Give me Fraction Hawkeye or give me death." I have less than zero interest in a Ronin Hawkeye. I mean, honestly, what is the point of doing this show? Obviously, he's talking about the Hawkeye series on Disney Plus. If there is no pizza dog, gotta agree with you there. We want Fraction too.
Yeah,
that sensibility would be perfect for it. And then he wants to get into the sneak peek game and says,
"Hey, there you go."
He has an FOC pick for this week, and it's Tommy Gun Wizards. Tommy Gun Wizards number 1 from Dark Horse, which is magic plus gangsters. And that, to him, equals spec gold.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll let you have an honorary FOC selection, and we'll see how it does. You can be part of the gang for this week.
Absolutely.
Yes. Alan asks, now that the dust is settled and the wound is healing on Walking Dead.
No, not healed yet, man. Not healed yet.
Too soon. What do you think about how Kirkman has handled this entire thing? For me, it's been pretty much perfect. Alan.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you just Kyle, you want to go?
Yeah, baller. I can't believe he did it. I mean, the final issue of a series is such an opportunity to sell 3 times the amount of comics, to put out 45 different covers, to set yourself up for your hardcovers, to set yourself up for your ending graphic novels, to do your spin-off series. And he did none of that stuff. He said, sneak it out, fake the future, do everything for the readership, do everything for the quality of the work I want, end it how I want to, how I think it deserves, and don't do it in a greedy way, a publisher first way, a monetary way, but do it in a story way. And I could not ask for anything more, and I will be a fan of Kirkman for a long time because of those kind of choices.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. The way he killed off Rick, the surprise and no lead up and just boom, done, did it. The way he ended the series when we all assumed it was going to be stretched, it was going to go on forever. I mean, all the surprises have been fantastic.
Yeah, we were talking about 200 coming up, 200 coming up, 200 coming up.
Yeah, I mean, and if you just holistically, let's look at what he's done. He started selling a comic that was selling what, 5,000 copies at a time, something like that. Yeah. And sticking with it and letting it slowly build and continuing to put them out and it great more readership and more readership, and the trend line goes up. We don't see that enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it
Correct.
continues to build. Making a TV show out of it, it blows up. The way he does reveals that at the end of each issue is exciting and propels you into the next issue, and the lengthy letter columns that way more than most creators do, and the back and forth and the fan service that he provides back there.
The floppy comic Easter eggs he did in issues 50 and 75 type things.
And his cover gimmicks and shenanigans were great and exciting. I mean, it didn't feel artificially manufactured. Even when they were doing like the connecting ones and the 100s, I still thought they were cool. The Sienkiewicz run for the whole year. It makes perfect sense now why he did that. Let's celebrate it. Let's celebrate it this whole year because I'm going to end the damn thing.
Yeah.
That was the way he monetized his comic and reprinted in a way that hadn't been done before, to not just collecting a trade. 6 issues collect a trade. 2 trades make a hardcover. Then those hardcovers get into an omnibus. And then let's reprint the first 52 issues in a Walking Dead weekly. Let's do our own series of second prints that way. Let's reprint the first issue 1,000,000 times over in 1,000,000 of different ways and give them away at cons and celebrate that first issue. And it wasn't that the first Image first dollar reprint too?
Yeah.
I mean,
and I think kind of the Image, here's 6 issues, here's a trade, here's a trade, here's a trade, here's a trade, here's a trade. Regularity with trades was huge.
Now, and he never did the hiatus. He never did the trade. Wait, take a month off.
I can hear you screeching Saga under your breath, and I don't appreciate it.
Which that's BKV started that, and I get it, but he never did it. And for me, that's bonus points. Everything he did was fantastic. And the way he ended it, just hats off. Yes, and I don't feel as much pain now. I'm better.
There you go.
I needed this. Yes.
That's awesome.
Patrick says, is it normal to want an autograph to not be personalized? I was asked by Greg Pak, and I didn't get it personalized because I may want to sell it in the future. Mm-hmm. It is my only book signed right now, and I figured you guys would know the proper etiquette. Well, I guess ultimately it's your decision, but I would think if the creator says, who do I make this out to, give them your name. That's the way to go. They're signing it, especially they're signing it for free. If you're paying for it, sure, you need to do it. If they're signing your thing for free and they say, who can I make it out to, they want to personalize it to you, and you should roll with it. And if you're there to get something signed to sell, I don't know, and they don't want to do it, I don't think you force them. I think it has to happen organically. But that's
we've both done both. I know the last C2E2 we went to, you had a lot of people sign, to Drew kind of stuff, and then I had a few things done generically, and a few things I just had them sign. But yeah, there are some things that we even ask for them to sign to us because it's just something that my experience of meeting that person and have them sign their book that's never going to have a ton of value is cool with me.
Now, yeah, I get it. If you go in and it's Todd McFarlane and you've got your 300 and you plop it in front of him, you're probably going to want that signature series, and you don't probably want a key for sentimental value, I would guess.
Yeah.
if you're listening to this podcast. But maybe you do. But I would probably not. If a creator says, "Who do I make it out to?" I would probably not tell them, "Leave it blank, please."
I'd like to flip this.
I wouldn't do that. I would, especially because you're getting it for free. Now you got a stack of 5 or something. You don't have to get them all personalized. And if they're doing them for free, could you grab another one or something and say, "Here, make that one out to me. Can you just sign this one?"
Yeah, but some of my favorite signatures are the ones where they said something goofy to me on it, or they
drew a little something,
drew a little something, or circled a little thing just in kin of the conversation we were having there, and put my name on it.
Yeah,
because I've been to the con. I've taken stacks and stacks of books to a con, and years after said con, the books that I like the most are the ones that are made to me. They mean more than anything I could have flipped, because when it's all said and done, unless you're getting CGC signature series, a signature's not going to necessarily increase it that much. I found that on the secondary market that it may add a few, but it won't make it that much better. It won't make it a ton better.
Right.
But a book that you like, that you have them saying, "Hey, Drew, thanks for coming out. Great to meet you. Love, Joel Jones." Means more to Drew.
that means so much to me. Yeah, but I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong with it. I would, if they're signing my book for free, though, I'm not going to tell them they can't sign it to me personally.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a key, then I guess it's different. You're probably having to pay for it at that point anyway. So
yeah.
All right, let's do FOC.
All right, of course, the FOC is the final order cutoff. It's the list that we go through on these evenings that are due next Monday. This one, of course, due by midday on Monday the 5th. This is our final opportunity to add a few things to our order, change a few things about our order, or even take a few things off. Or, if there's something we're thinking we should get, maybe we toss it on here so we don't have to chase it in the secondary market, of course. So, of course, Cowabunga Comics and Eric curate us a wonderful list that we go through in each podcast. Of course, do that by midday Monday. There are a few things that Eric points out to us on this one. In this one, he is talking a lot about the Umbrella Academy Library Edition, the hardcover Volume 2, of course, by Gerard Way. Umbrella Academy, a big thing with it's being pitched up and auctioned and created. People are really seeming to quite enjoy that. So a nice way to read the collected edition here is a good deal on this hardcover there. He is also talking about Batman Superman #1. He's pointing out the variant edition of it. That is Lionel Yu on the art on that cover. A really cool Batman Superman cover. I like that. Of course, we have the Lazarus hardcover Volume 3. Another hardcover. Of course, Greg Ruck on that. Drew and myself really enjoying Lazarus. And you can get a good deal by pre-ordering that. And, of course, Absolute Carnage #2. The Alan Davis cover on that one, or a few of the things that he's just pointing out. But Drew, you and I are going to dive in and see what we can find out of it, and we're going to start in Dark Horse, where, of course, we've already talked a little bit about Tommy Gunn.
Yes, that's Michael Lamb's pick for FOC. Grab that sucker and
of course, our good friend Declan Shalvey, it looks like, is doing the cover B on that one. Let me see if I can see what that looks like. I like when he does some covers there. Oh, a nice little cover on that one as well. Very cool. Can't beat that one. Oh, wait. Sorry, just two. Looking at Stranger Things. Anything else in Dark Horse, sir?
So, where's Michael Lamb getting his FOC list earlier than us?
I don't know. Maybe he's just able to do the calculations on, things that are...
Does he just pull the raw stuff from Diamond? Maybe. Yeah.
All right.
I don't have anything.
Down to DC. Yeah. Curse of the White Knight #2 of 8. Of course, that just coming out a couple weeks ago. And us having the next one. Of course, Sean Murphy, both writing and art on that one. Nice. Very nice cover. On cover A there.
Do we care about Batman Superman?
Ooh, let's see here. I mean, yes, probably.
You went on it big last time, right? There was wasn't there a Batman Superman that you went in heavy on?
Yes, I went big
time?
on the Batman / Superman last time. That was a lot of my what's his face art that I really liked. Turned out not to be a lot then.
Jock, right?
Say what?
Or Cho? Was it
No,
Jock?
no.
Cho?
It was,
Who was that?
Yes, that one guy. Sejic.
Him.
Oh, Sejic.
No, it wasn't.
I can't remember.
No.
Anyways, I like it. He's got very gothic with the art. I'm blanking on it though.
Yeah. I thought it was Jock.
But I mean, this. Okay, so Batman Superman 1. It looks like we're continuing some of the. It looks like we got Batman Who Laughs here. So if you were enjoying Metal, if you were enjoying Batman Who Laughs, you're going to stay into Batman Superman. If you're not, you're not. That's pretty much where your byline's going to be.
But are you enjoying the Scott Snyder Batman Who Laughs and Metal and stuff? This is
Correct.
Josh Williamson. Do you trust him?
Sure.
All right. I mean, I'm not saying he couldn't do it, but it's Scott's
Correct.
baby. I don't know that I want someone else writing his stuff. I don't know.
I don't disagree. I do not disagree. Jai Lee is the name I could not think of for the life of me on the last Batman Superman I read. I was a big fan of.
Jiley, that's right. That was nowhere close to Jock, except there was a
so
J in there.
we had Greg Pak on the writing, which I'm a fan of, and we had Jai Lee on the art, which I'm a fan of, which is why I was more enamored with that last one.
Yep. And you just had Greg Pak just sign it, just his name widhout personalizing it to you,
Yes.
if I recall. You're the same. So you also did what our listener did.
Well, yeah, and that's a situation where I read it, I enjoyed it, but yeah, that's one that will go on. Yeah,
It was for sale. Yeah, it was good. It was going to get sold.
Dial H wrapping up. Detective 110. A lot of non-floppy comics here and here. A lot of different toys and statues and stuff coming out from DC these same weeks as well. Hardcover for Naomi Season 1. So, we're doing a hardcover for essentially the first trade on it. It is 1 through 6. It's coming out in a hardcover. And they're doing the $19.99 point. If you snag it up early, Cowabunga is going to give you a $10 deal on it if you pre-order it and everything like that. So, if you were wondering...
For a hardcover, that's pretty good.
For a hardcover... Yeah. You're going to be getting for essentially what you get the image trades almost for. And if you're wondering what the deal with Naomi is, which I've heard people literally ask that exact question in the past few months, here's a good chance to dip your toes in for not that big of a jump and find out exactly what's going on with it.
Yeah, I just finished issue 6. It was really good. A little rushed, like they shoehorned a lot into that final issue before they spring forward into the next volume. But I mean, after some amazing first couple of issues, just really well crafted. It did feel a little rushed, but really, really still good and a fun intro to a new character that we fell asleep on.
Yeah, completely missed on that one, unfortunately. And there was lots of money to be had. Thank you, brother.
Bless you. That's all right,
let's head on down and see what IDW has for us.
If you could take a look at the TMNT 97 Eastman B cover, it's a black and white cover. Do you think this is just before it got inked and colored, and it will be, or is it going to look like that? Because I think
the
that's
David
amazing.
Walker, the red. Or am I looking at
the Kevin Eastman for It's the cover B for ongoing TMNT ongoing 97.
You and I have a completely different version because mine has blood red all through it. Oh, nope. I'm seeing the same thing you are. Yes. He's been doing some sketch stuff, so that is...
That's the final cover. That's what the final cover looks like.
See, it doesn't have the header on it, so I can't guarantee you, but I would say yes.
It looks really nice. I really like the font on the other one with the red on it. The old school. It looks good, too. I've got a stack of Eastman stuff. I got to stop. He's my new Sinkovich, I think. And just grab an Eastman TMNT cover.
Good news, Drew. Your Usagi Yojimbo collared thing went to a second print on issue 1, so there was enough scuttlebutt on not only a story we've heard before, but it being in color that they drug some...
No, it's not reprinted.
Oh, these are
new stories.
Okay. I thought we were retelling some
Yeah.
stuff. I apologize.
No, we relaunched the series.
I did not mean to offend as much. You're really letting me have it on that one. My apologies.
Well, I mean, Stan Sakai's doing good work over there. He's not just rehashing.
My apologies. However, going to a second print, very cool. As far as Image is concerned now, of course, Excellence 1 going to a third print, 2 going to a second print, 3 going to a second print. Always good to see that with those things. Of course, I can't tell you if the covers are different or what, unfortunately, on those ones. I believe they are, but
Which
I was
one?
looking at the third print of 1. I assume it's a different cover, but I am unaware.
Yeah, I can't tell if those are new or not. An awful lot of Saga merch, each and every FOC cycle. Saga merch. I guess that's what they're doing instead of putting out.
Yeah, and see, like, the only problem I have is, like, we have the Saga Elena Bubblegum t-shirt. That is issue 7, so it's not like we couldn't have put that out 4 years ago. That is an old issue.
Yeah. That Spawn second printing. We can't tell if there's a new cover for it because it says Image coming soon, so we gotta assume it's a new cover.
Todd's got nothing but time.
And it's only $2. It's $2 for a second printing of $2.99 through Cowabunga. I mean, it might be worth a stab. And that's all I have.
All right, down to Marvel, where Absolute Carnage #1 going to a third print, #2 being out, Absolute Carnage Lethal Projectors #1 being out, Absolute Carnage Miles Morales #1 coming out. So Carnage all over the place.
And I'm not playing this time with this, so I'm gonna stay away from all that. So I'm some of them are beautiful covers. They're blowing up. Some of them are blowing up, and they're going to make people money. There's too many. I don't care enough about the character to want them in my collection if they don't hit. So I'm gonna sit them out. But I think there's probably money to be made there. I don't have enough interest in trying to decipher which ones.
But if you've got deep pocketbooks and you've got some insight on some of these covers, since there's been so much of some of these things, there's been a lot of these deep ratios that are very scarce, and therefore asking quite a bit of collection on the secondary market. Not necessarily with issue 1s, but you're seeing things where they're going as deep as to 1 in 50s on like the 5th issue of something, and that not being there not being many of those out. So there is money to be had if you're playing in deep waters.
Yeah. If you want to play in that, then you can do okay. Like, we got this Fantastic Four Yancey Street. Like, I don't know who's clamoring for this thing, but they're gonna do an expensive, like, 1 in 250 or 1 in 500 or something for the Kirby Hidden Gem. So that's amazing. Kind of surprises me.
Fearless going to a second print. House of X3 out. Loki 1 going to a second print. Marvel Monsters #1. Cullen Bunn writing this. The monsters are coming. Someone is doing terrible things to the Marvel monsters, and only Kid Kaiju can stop it. But that's not all. A murderer's row of artists like Becky Cloonan, Geraldo Zafono, and other hand to provide awesome monster splash pages, accompanied by cross sections of the superstar artist Superlog. Okay, it's the big, bold, beautiful celebration of all things monstrously Marvel, and you won't want to miss it. So it looks like we've got Fing Fang Foom, Creature from the Black Lagoon, OG Groot, looks like back there, Devil Dinosaur, Swamp Thing. So if you like kaijus in the Marvel Universe...
there's our Power Pack Grow Up #1.
I ordered that.
Was this a one shot celebrating the anniversary, or is this the start of something?
Shot.
Okay.
This is a hey, thanks for playing.
Don't forget about us.
Yes.
We're Power Pack. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Get the annual for She-Hulk, another one of these where they don't have an actual series happening, but they have an annual, which that's a new thing. And you know what? When you mentioned that, because they're doing that for Moon Knight in the upcoming previews that's out, and you kind of poo-pooed it, but the more I think about it, I love the idea. I love the idea of trotting out a character that their series ended, or you've tried to launch them in a mini series and they just haven't been able to sustain it. But they're still fans of those things. So throw an annual out once a year, tell a nice story with that character that fans will come out and be able to enjoy that, and you don't have to worry about it launching at 20,000 and then hitting 15 and 10 and 5 before it gets canceled.
There you go.
The more I think about it, I think it's a good idea, and it'd be fun to do this all the time with minor characters that can't really support their own series,
like Moon Knight,
and they're just like, hey, wait, what did you say?
Just wait a gosh darn minute.
You might, but then you might find out that people are excited about it, and you get some hubbub and some hype around something, and maybe then you would launch it into a mini series or something. I think it's smart, and so that means DC will watch it, monitor it, and in 5 to 7 years we'll do the same thing.
DC will eventually come on board.
Yeah, and there'll be a Blue Devil annual.
There you go. All right, we got Star Wars: Age of Republic General Hux #1. You see Tom Taylor's writing that there, Chief.
Oh, really? Okay, now remind me who's General Hux. This is the point of the podcast where I show how...
He is the red-haired commander of the First Order, played by Domhnall Gleeson.
Huh. Which part of the movie was this?
So this is on the new Star Wars, is your episode 7s and stuff.
This was Force Awakens?
Awakens, Last Jedi. Yes.
He was in that?
Yes.
He was in that? All right. I don't remember. I saw these movies, I swear.
He's the guy giving Kylo Ren a bunch of stuff, So like whenever he screws up, he's the First Order leader that's
okay. All right, it's coming back to me now.
Swordmaster #1 going to a second print. I mentioned that and threw that out as a option for perhaps spec value, and then from what I can suss out, the order numbers were so low that Marvel went ahead and doubled most shops' cover A orders and gave them free comics, therefore killing any spec value for that book for number 1. Which it was a very, very long shot for it anyways because it's a previous property, but who knows?
Oh, and I was curious about that when you mentioned that, and I was curious, well, just how exactly is that going to be reflected in the sales? Because I'm like, okay, so they ship whatever they sold, and then they just
so if you ordered 10,
it,
they gave you 20,
right? So I reached out to our friends at Comicron who do the sales numbers for us.
Whoa!
And they said that Diamond's chart is a commodity report telling retailers how many copies are on the market. So any units will always count. So the unit number is always going to be the unit. But they also do a dollar share where it'll show the dollars that accounted for. So the dollar impact for those extra comics will be 0. So when they get ranked by dollars, it'll slide that title down the list, which gives you a closer estimate to where it really belongs.
Got you.
On
But
the list.
when you and I are going down our top 300 and we look at Swordmaster number 1, that number is artificially inflated.
It is artificially inflated, but they will count all the units, even
Correct.
the ones that were shipped
Gotcha.
for free. Which, in the past, if it was under $1, they wouldn't count it. If it was a specially priced thing, but I guess they make an exception when it's priced fully, but then shipped additional overshipped. So it's very weird, and I think they changed their minds back and forth a lot of times over at Diamond, because they used to report loot crate numbers,
and they used to
they
report
don't do
dollar
that
book
anymore.
numbers. But Drew, strong work for reaching out to Comic-Con. That's awesome.
Occasionally, I do a little prep.
That is awesome.
For the show.
Super impressed.
I can't promise that each time, but I was fascinated by the fact that I was inspired by you finding out this inside retailer information about the overshipping. So I wanted to add my little 2 cents. And when it came time to see that number on the chart, I would have forgotten by then.
That's awesome. Very cool. Very cool. All right, down into Boom and some of our other smaller publishers, because I got nothing else in Marvel. So we want to talk about Thor stuff.
Missing out. Mall number 1. I mean, I think I got that coming.
Hey, we talked good about Once and Future, and it's going to a second print.
Yep.
So that is awesome. Dan Mora art, we love. Karen Gillan, we like. Once and Future, we love. So that's awesome.
Do you recognize if it's a different cover?
Crap, it's a great question. I think it is. Yes. Yes, that's it. I'm pretty sure that's a different cover. Because I don't recognize why Grandma has a Glock. So yes, that's different.
That does look totally different. How I don't, maybe is it though? Wait a minute, maybe it's not. I don't know. I can't remember what the first one looked like. Is it worth getting?
If you're a Once and Future, yeah, because I just pulled up issue 1 and it's different. Yep,
it's different. Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff here, but nothing I've got to have. I don't think.
And that's the beauty of the FOC. It's our FOC. It's our usual last opportunity to add a few things, but maybe we don't want to do that, and that's okay because, Drew, we tend to add a lot of things.
We spend enough, so it's good. It's good that we take a little break every now and then.
My ears are pricked up a little bit on Mall number 1 from Vault Comics. Okay, so Michael Morikai. Gary Dauberman, I think it's Doberman, and Zach Hartong on the art and cover. Here in the heartland of the US of A, the world has ended. But worry not, because the mall still stands, and within the malls of this consumeristic mecca lies a new world order, box store tribes and name brand gangs, all vying for limited space and resources. So actually, you probably can worry. Especially for poor Andre Reed, who after the assassination of a tribal leader has to navigate the Mad Haven to prove his innocence and prevent the end of the world. So you and I love post-apocalyptic, and I like things like, what was it, Dawn of the Dead that was in the mall? Yeah, I always like that. Yeah. So, you know, you're talking my my language, and I really like that cover A on that one. So, mall number 1 I missed it, and it looks cool.
Very nice. But now we're done with the info scene.
Moving on.
Okay, let's go over to our friends at Cover Price, who they do a good job of compiling the hottest selling eBay comics. We think they do a pretty good job. Sometimes we nitpick, but they do a pretty good job. They do better job than we do, because we do not compile anything. So number 1 this week, for the week of August 2nd, is Farmhand number 1, selling 100 units this week for an average raw value of around $19. So that's pretty good. I don't know if I mentioned this, Kyle, but I got my letter in the back of an issue of Farmhand.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. True. Why didn't you mention that?
You hadn't heard that? Nope, it's true. I probably should bring it up. Sometimes I just don't like to toot my own horn. Now, coming at number 2 is What If number 10, which is What If Jane Foster found the hammer of Thor, which we know. We did a full doggone series out of, and we're going to do a movie out of. So we did 113 copies of this bad boy, and it's selling for around $50.
And I have 3 copies of Farmhand in a box somewhere, just FYI.
Well, there you go. $20 a piece right there, man.
Yep.
Get them out. We've got third place, Magnificent Ms. Marvel number 5. 65 copies of this one sold this week for about $12 a piece, and it's the first appearance of a new costume that acts symbiotic, and it's an homage cover. So take that for what it is. Quad 3 times cover, quad cover.
There you go.
Price on that. We got Thor number 8, which is when Thor revealed her identity as Jane Foster.
I don't know why, but when she revealed herself as Jane Foster, I went to our local and I grabbed one.
Yep. I know they kept putting it off. Remember, they kept putting it off, and we were like, oh, it's Thor number 6.
Yeah.
This is the one. Get it. Oh no, it's Thor number 7. They're gonna do it. Pick this one up, and we finally got it right with Thor 8. So it's going for $15. 63 of them sold. Thor number 1, who is it was the Jane Foster Thor solo series, also doing well. 126 of these sold for around $36 on average a piece. So very nice for your $3.99 investment. Marvel Fanfare 11 comes in at 6th place. 26 of these sold. They're selling for around $22 a piece, and this is the first appearance of Iron Maiden, who will be in the Black Widow movie.
I'm sure I have thumbed through this in a quarter box.
I have,
and not cared.
I've discarded this one. Yes, not cared one bit. This is 25 cents was too much for me to spend for this one, and it's a $22 book. So, rank 7, we've got Walking Dead 193, the last issue, going for $20 on average, and 110 of them were sold.
Wonder how much you get if they're tear stained. Does that decrease the value?
The Tears of Drew do not depreciate the value of this book.
CGC omits that from their standard.
Yes. Captain Marvel, all these Captain Marvel number 8s have the first appearance of Star in them, and they're various kinds of covers, Carnage covers and stuff. This one is the Hyuk Lee version. It's around $15, and 79 of them sold. Still selling Eternals number 1. 67 of those sold for $111 average, and as of course is the first appearance of the Eternals with the movie coming out. the San Diego Comic-Con variant of The Walking Dead 193, the final issue, with a blue hue to the cover, which is the only difference. Selling for $40.
Yeah, we don't have a number on there, so I don't know. This never said limited to 500, so there may be a ton of those.
Yeah. Remember we went to C2E2, there were tons of those. Was that Walking Dead 1? Maybe? We got Thor God of Thunder 25. Jane Foster's Thor makes an appearance in that one. 52 of them sold. High raw sale of $65. So it would be like the last issue of that before she got her own series, right? Maybe. Eternals 2. Almost sold for $1,000 for a CGC 98. 53 copies of it sold this week. Spawn $2.99. The San Diego Comic-Con variant, I think you said was pretty sweet.
Beautiful looking book, and holy crap, is it going for some money?
Yeah, 25 of them sold. Selling for just raw $456. My goodness.
What? Okay, quick, complete tangent. You were a big fan of the God of Thunder run for Thor from Jason Aaron. I heard a rumor that the God Butcher is being wedged into the Love and Thunder series, but not necessarily kind of. It sounds like they're making him kind of a generic villain. So I don't know.
I think that could have been its own movie, but whatever.
That's the exact thought I had. All right, that's all I want to know.
I mean, I guess you can let it kind of play out and do more with that character in a series than you can in a movie, right? So I guess that makes sense. Let's see, we got another Eternals appearance, another Jane Foster appearance. We got Infinity Gauntlet #1, still selling well. 15 copies of it sold, and it's selling for over $100 raw. Amazing. Another Captain Marvel 8, another Thor 1. House of X1, I think we talked about this. It's a variant, that's why it's hot. And Ghost Rider 28, first appearance of Lilith and the Midnight Suns. 30 copies sold, around $20. So those are some of the hot eBay sellers. And how do you get those hot eBay sellers? Well, you listen to the sneak peek, and we tell you what's coming out and what you need to go grab, because at some point they'll be in the eBay hot sellers.
So, of course, Drew and I are going to head over to previewsworld.com, find new releases, find the releases for August 7th, 2019. And, Drew, let's start where we love to start. Let's start in Image. A lot of Image firsts, a lot of opportunity for $1 to get another bite at things like Gideon Falls, Ice Cream Man, Oblivion Song, Trees, Unnatural.
Ice Cream Man is the only one on here that is a hot, rare book. So that would be the one to get if you're going to get just one for $1. The other ones never really took off.
Coffin Bound #1 from Image, the series premiere. Cars, Guns, Entropy. So interesting. Grindhouse style comic.
Is it somebody we know?
Dan Waters.
I can't remember.
With art by Danny. D-A-N-I.
Just Danny. Nice.
Of course, Die #6 coming out. Die, a very hot book. So, okay.
I don't get it.
And Drew doesn't get it.
I don't get it.
Sea of Stars #2. Of course, the Jason Aaron Dennis Howman book. Very popular on that first one. Sold through. Went to a second print, I believe, if I remember correctly. And issue 2 coming out now. Thumbs #2 going to a second print. #3 available now. And same thing with Unearthed #1 going to a second print. That is the Cullen Bunn Kyle Strom comic. Walking Dead Trade Volume 32, the final trade paperback for Walking Dead, collecting issues 187 through 193, $16.99. because we're getting an extra issue. Is that right?
Yep.
There you go. Anything else? Anything in Dark Horse?
Yeah, it's No One Left to Fight. The number one's going to a second print. Number 2 is also out. That's probably smart. 1, 2, just grab them both off the shelf. If you're in your LCS, there's definitely an opportunity there for some heat. That's the only thing in there I see, though.
So, and No One Left to Fight. Second print is a new cover that literally tells you it's the best comic ever. IDW?
IDW had a TMNT ongoing second print for 95, which was who? Jerica, Jessica, Jenica.
And this is she's on the cover, so yes, get it, because this is her first cover.
That's her first cover.
Tweedle.
Right? Where do you come down on that? You know, you've got her first appearance as a human, and then her first appearance as a turtle. Which one is more important?
Would you rather have Nightwing's first appearance or Dick Grayson's first appearance? You want to have Dick Grayson's first appearance. Unfortunately, that's a super rare book. But yeah, you want the actual first time they're on screen.
Okay, even though they're
Correct.
not in costume, right? Right. Yeah, that makes sense. So, what is Dick Grayson's
Isn't
first
he
appearance?
in Batman 1? Or is he Detective 27 as well?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. That's a bad example.
It wasn't easy
because he was Robin before he was Nightwing.
But
Yeah. Okay. I liked the Superman up in the sky. I thought that was pretty good. Oh no, that wasn't it. Superman Year One's what I liked. I'm confused. And I like Deceased a lot.
Yeah, Deceased has been so good.
Those first 3 issues have been fantastic. And you know what? Just always let Tom Taylor do whatever he wants. Just always have books going where he can be crazy.
Don't even give him an editor. Whatever he wants. Just say, what do you want to do?
What do you want to do now? Yeah. Untitled Tom Taylor book. Yeah. Sold. I'll take 2 copies, please.
And of course, it has the horror variant.
And did you recognize this one?
Let's see. Which one was this one?
I don't. They all kind of look like Afterlife with Archie, and I know that's not what they're going for. So I don't know what that one is.
Is it Final Destination? I can't remember what that one is.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, you could be right. We also have Lois Lane's second issue. First issue was really awesome. I enjoyed it a lot. And it's number 2 of a 12-issue miniseries. So, really cool series so far from Rucka. Of course, Rucka does good stuff. $8 Absolute Carnages, man. Gee, many Christmas. But that art germ's pretty nice.
Yes, it are.
I mean, they're all pretty nice, but $8. Come on, stop it.
Man, they're so...
Champions, I've heard, is ending with issue 10. So, Champions, a book I loved when Mark Waid was writing and liked when Jim Zub was writing, is now no more. So, Champions is going to be canceled with issue 10.
Womp womp.
Which, is going to kill sales for 8, 9, and 10.
Black Cat number 3, of course, we're still getting J. Scott Campbell for a cover price, so that's always things that are interesting me.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's a good, solid series,
Foundation
too.
Here. Straight from the pages of Fantastic Four.
I mean, so this is what are we up to now? 4 or 5 different Fantastic Four series and spinoffs. Is that enough?
Yes.
Can we stop?
Yes, we can. Yes.
I think we all got our.
Drew, head back in for Major X #0. Written by Rob Liefeld. Art by Rob Liefeld. Representing the classic Wolverine 1988, issues 154 through 155, with all new Major X frame short story written and drawn by Rob Liefeld.
I don't understand this at all. What this is all about, which means it'll probably sell really well and be a hot commodity. I love that Pisker variant cover. That's really cool. Anything Ed Pisker does is usually pretty nice, and this is exactly that. But it's $5. How do we feel about
We're not
overpriced
fans.
comics?
We hold the line. We held the line, and we're the only people there.
Which is why, like Spawn just blows my mind.
It's still $2.99.
Still $2.99. Now he's cashing in for $300 and $301. But then he's going right back to $2.99. Hats off, Todd McFarlane. Or Tad.
As his friends call him.
We like to call him.
Drew, are you able to find anything great in Dynamite?
Ever? Or just now?
I would take either answer.
Yeah. I don't know what Death Defying Devil is. It's Gail Simone writing it.
It looks like a Daredevil riff-off.
Yeah, it definitely does. So, there you go.
You got your Vampirellas, you got your Red Sonias, and all that fun stuff. Just nothing, unfortunately, in my wheelhouse. So, let's look at some other stuff. Some Booms, and then our smaller publishers.
Oh, nothing in Boom.
I believe we talked at one point about Boogaloo Heads #1. Looks like the second one going back for a second print, or the first one going back for a second print.
It's hilarious. Name your comic something very strange that people will make fun of.
Yep.
It'll sell out, and you can go to a second print. It seems to happen over and over again.
Dark Age #1 from Red 5 Comics, featured on the Free Comic Book Day from the creators of The Rift. In the near future, all metal on Earth suddenly turns to worthless piles of rust and dust. With no technology, no guns, no computers, humanity reverts to a violent feudal system. Each pocket of civilization is ruled by knights of wood and glass and concrete. This is the new Dark Age. And like we like to say, hold the line at $3.95. I assume for Red 5 Comics.
Maybe. We've got Dead End Kids #1 from Frank Gogol. It's 1999. Kyle, remember 1999? You were single, right?
Not a care in the world.
I had a full head of hair in '99.
There wasn't a $17 fee by Ticketmaster on every show I wanted to go to.
Music was awesome back then. Yeah. No, didn't have a cell phone, did I? In '99.
If I wanted music, Napster was there for me.
That's true. Well, Ben, Murphy, Tank, and Amanda are 4 screwed up kids from broken homes, but they have each other. When Ben is murdered, Murphy and his poor Ben. Murphy and his friends set out to find who killed him and find themselves in the crosshairs. Dead End Kids is a dark coming-of-age murder mystery set in the 90s. From the creative team behind Grief, which I don't think I read. But I like the cover. I like the concept. I like the era. I don't do a lot of Source Point press, but I like it.
Speaking the Drew language.
Yes, sir.
That's all I got. All right, Drew, this is one of the podcasts where I ask you for your pick of the week. What's the one pick to make sure you go to your local comic book shop, pick that book up, put it on a bag, put it in a bag, put it with a board, tape it down because it's going to have some value at some point, Drew. What do we got?
There was a lot of second prints that I was toying with, and then I read Dead End Kids, and I had to have it. That's me.
There you go.
That's me.
So, Dead End Kids from... Who was the publisher on that one?
Source Point Press.
There you go. And I'm going to go right above it with Dark Age #1 from Red 5 because I like my post-apocalyptic, and the idea of wood and glass and concrete being the only source of things sounds like it could be kind of fun. So let's take that one.
So a couple of D's for us. Fantastic.
Yeah. Picking stuff from your back half of your comic book ships. You're not going to get that from all the other speckers.
Oh.
They're going to be going chalk.
Oh, and at the beginning of this, we want to thank shout out to Jason.
Yeah.
Who put a nice little bumper for us from a cosplayer whose name escapes me, but she'll introduce herself at the beginning of this show, or did.
Leah Rose.
And she wished a happy birthday to Kyle. And happy birthday, Kyle. So
thank you.
When you listen to this, he will be a couple of days away from his birthday. And we wish you many, many, many more. And thank you, Jason, for thinking of Kyle and us always when you're at cons and getting us fun little stuff like that. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I believe Jason is more familiar with my birthday than our father is.
That's another sad tale for another day. Not for the podcast.
But yes, we thank you so much, and I appreciate the shout out, and that was very, very sweet. Very, very nice. So we want to thank you guys for tagging along to Comics for Fun and Profit. Of course, all of our information on our Instagrams, our Twitters, our Facebooks, and everything can be found at comicsfunprofit.com. If there's something else in this week that you think we should make sure we look onto, or any other things or questions you have for us, be part of the podcast. Submit your questions via any of those sources, and we would love to get back with you and hear from you. But for Drew and for myself, see ya.